Hello and welcome. This is Christoph Clement from Printess, and today I want to have a look at the new spine feature, which allows us to create a photo book which has two documents, one for the cover with the spine and for the inside pages, which have multiple pages and actually can grow, so the spine grows as well. So let's create an empty document here. These kinds of templates always consists of two documents. One will be the cover, so let me rename that to cover to make it more clear. And one will be the inside. So let me create a new document, call it inside. The inside document needs to be double pages. Let's just insert some 8 pages here. And it needs to have the photo book option enabled here. So this is the option where you can later choose if people are allowed to add additional pages to that photo book in the buyer side. So let's go back to the cover and make it a cover. So once this template has now an inside document here, the cover will show automatically this icon. This icon is actually cover and spine. If you enable it, this cover document automatically will obtain its size from the inside documents. So let me click on it. What we see now is a cover which has double the size of the inside pages plus the so-called spine area, which is dependent on the amount of pages the document has, or the book has, so to say. Here we see the page width is currently 44.16 centimeters. I can't click on it, I can't change it because it's locked, because it's derived from the inside document, which is 21 by 29.7. So if I go to the inside and let's say make it a square document and go back to the cover, we will see we have now 2 square pages plus the spine. The spine itself is defined by this formula here. You can use spine.pages and have a multiplier to say how many millimeters your spine will grow per page. Also, we have in that example an offset here 2 centimeter, which is a base size where it starts with. There are a multitude of formulas possible since this basically is evaluated as JavaScript. So you also can do things like if it has 10 pages, make 1 centimeter spine. If it has 20 pages, make 2 centimeters of spine. So let me just turn this to 2 millimeters and we will see it will grow because we now have 8 pages, 2 millimeters plus 2 centimeters, which actually gives our final spine. Turn it back. So whenever you add pages to the inside, the spine automatically will grow. In addition, you have left-right edge and top-bottom edge. That gives you the ability to add some more space, some more size to the cover against the inside pages. So normally, of course, the inside pages are a little bit smaller than the cover. So you basically say there's 0.5 centimeters left and right and maybe 0.5 centimeters top and bottom, which actually makes the cover a little bit larger than your inside pages, and you can define it over here. So how to lay out on this thing? So there are 2 more important things to know, and then you're actually all set. One thing is, how can I place a text on the back of my book here? So what I can do is I can take a single line text and I basically can make it as high as the document is. And for the left position and the right position, we can use a helper. So we can use an equation here and then we can say spine.left, which actually places it exactly in the printable area of the spine, which is a little bit more inside than the actual spine size, because otherwise that won't look good when printed. And with the width we can do the same thing, so we can use an equation and just say spine.width. So it's very tiny text here. And my tip is if you dock this frame top and bottom, so at whatever centimeter, if we want to leave a little space, we can say top 1 centimeter, bottom 1 centimeter. So we automatically have some space over here and there. And then you can use the content rotation, super handy. because if we rotate the content like 90 degrees here, we can decide either we want it that side or that side. So we have now an easy to use frame where the user can just say, this is my summer 2023 photo book. So you're all set with that frame. It will automatically resize depending on the spine size. So again, if I do my little trick and say 2 millimeters per page, this grows bigger. If you don't want to have it so big, you can use the standard abilities Printess gives you. You can actually limit the font size to a certain degree here for single line text, so it will not grow bigger. But the frame itself will automatically adjust to the spine. So let's put it back for our document here. Let's put it back to 0.2. Okay, so the next problem is if we want to use layout snippets and layouts, these layouts need to adjust to the spine size, which will adjust when the user adds more inside pages. So our recommendation to do that is basically using placement margins. So when I turn on placement margins here, and for the sake of visibility, I will set them all to 1. Of course, the right one, the top one, the bottom one, maybe will stay with 0 here. But now you see the placement margin more clear. And what we do now is we actually say this is 21 centimeters here. So there is another additional spine. So maybe we are at 24 centimeters, something like that. Let me just, yeah, it's a good estimation. The good thing is this placement margin now will take all the layout snippets you're using. So if you are on a large plan, you have the ability to use the Printess all categories with the ready-made layouts. You can use any other layout, doesn't matter. It's just easy for me for showing that. And if I go to a certain layout and insert it here, it gives me a cover for my photo book. And I see it actually places itself exactly in the spine area. When I'm changing again the spine size, so let me put that to 2 millimeters again, you will see everything adjusted. So the placement margin adjusts properly with the spine, and so also will the layout adjust properly. So on the right side, you're all set. It will actually adjust wonderfully to the photo book. And it also works when we go inside pages here and we add more pages and we go back to the cover. It actually has all been adjusted. Now a large spine here, and on the right hand side we have a layout which is properly fitting. So you know now how to put some text on the back on the spine of your book, and you also know how to work with layouts, layout snippets or splitter layouts or whatever. So last question is, what do we do on the left side? And actually the answer, it's pretty simple. On the left side we just do normal positioning of elements and let the user maybe move them around and maybe even adjust them to if the spine changes, because this page is actually not changing at all when the spine grows. So that's kind of independent. So some people like to have an image spanning the entire size of the cover. It can look really beautiful. So how to achieve that? The problem here is that these layout placement margins here always keep our layout snippet inside. So we don't have the ability to place a layout which actually spans the entire cover. But there is a really good trick around that. So when I insert a frame here and just place it somewhere with some bleed, I do that just roughly now. And this I can also put on a new layer and say that's my background layer. And I put my image on this layer. And if I now turn on this image as content editable, and I will also say it's a background frame, then we have exactly what we want, because now, and you can even have a white image as a default, so then it's already not visible, or you can make a switch and the style, but actually a white image will do the job. But the cool thing is, if I'm now on my buyer side here, I can press change background, I can upload an image here, and it will span the entire cover, and I could even have some layouts on top of it, or I can actually make some white overlay here, or even allow people only to have a title on the photo book. But that's actually the whole story here about setting up a spine with a new spine feature actually, and working with inside pages and covers. So thank you very much for listening, and let us know if you struggle. We're always here to help.